A big relief for all the motorists and daily commuters, as the Islamabad High Court had suspended the May 30th, 2026 notification of National Highway Authority and Communications Department. You have heard it right. The Islamabad High Court had passed an interim order where they had suspended the operation of the May 30th notification of NHA. But what was the notification about? And what was the subsequent circumstances or consequences for the motorists who did not acquire an AM tag or who did not have sufficient or adequate funds in their AM tags? Let's talk about that. National Highway Authority and Communication Department, which is the supervising body of the motorway networks and highways of Pakistan, had dispatched a notification on May 30th, 2026 that an additional imposition of 50% of toll taxes is going to be ensured on those motorists or those vehicles who do not acquire AM tags or who do not have adequate or sufficient funds in AM tags. Subsequently, this notification or this decision of NHA was challenged in Islamabad High Court when an advocate from Islamabad High Court had filed a writ petition against the National Highway Authority and Communications Department, saying that NHA has a sole authority or prerogative of levying or collecting the taxes, not imposing surcharges or any kind of penalty. And guess what? The Islamabad High Court Justice had passed an interim order leading to the suspension of this May 30th notification of National Highway Authorities. And furthermore, Islamabad High Court had also sought for response in the form of parabise comments and all kinds of justification behind the dispatching of this illegal or uncontrolled notification. Yes, keeping in consideration that NHA has a sole authority of collecting and levying the taxes and not imposing any kind of surcharges or penalties, Islamabad High Court had asked for a clear response. Finally, the petitioner in the Islamabad High Court had also sought for all kinds of reimbursements that had already been taken by the motorists and vehicles under this notification. Yes, and now the motorists and more importantly the daily commuters had heard this news and are appreciating and commending this interim order passed by Lahore High Court, as it could be seen or it could be perceived as a big relief for these daily commuters. Thank you.
Why the Indus Waters Treaty is falling apart. A single decision has reignited one of the biggest disputes between India and Pakistan. Not over borders, not over missiles, but over water. And experts warn the consequences could affect millions of lives. So what exactly happened? Why is a 65 years old treaty suddenly at the center of global attention? And could this become one of the biggest diplomatic crises South Asia has ever faced? Well, let's find out. For more than 65 years, the Indus Waters Treaty was considered one of the world's most successful water sharing agreements. Signed in 1960 between India and Pakistan with the World Bank involvement. The treaty allocated the waters of the Indus River systems between the two countries and remarkably survived multiple wars, military standoffs, and decades of strained diplomatic relations. For years, it stood as one of the few examples of cooperation between two bitter rivals. But today, the agreement is facing its biggest challenge yet. Following the latest military tensions between India and Pakistan, India announced that it was placing the treaty in abeyance. Unintentionally, Pakistan officials warned that any attempts to interfere with agreed water agreements could threaten agriculture, drinking water supplies, and livelihoods of millions of people around the world. Pakistan has repeatedly called for the treaty to be respected and has urged that any disagreements be resolved through the treaty's legal framework and international mechanisms rather than unilateral actions. Meanwhile, experts warn that climate change, shrinking glaciers in the Himalayas, and rising water demands are putting additional pressure on an already fragile situation. What was once celebrated as one of the world's greatest diplomatic success stories is now at the heart of a growing geopolitical dispute.